I'm sure by now most of you have seen all the leaks talking about all the brand new Mega Evolutions that we're going to be getting in Pokemon Legends EA. So a couple videos back when I was talking about Lysander returning in Pokemon Legends EA, I found this pretty interesting leak talking about Mega Evolutions that I never covered on the channel, and I talked about it a little bit in that previous video, but I want to talk a little more in depth about it in this one, and I think it's some pretty interesting stuff, so I'm sure you guys are going to find it pretty fascinating as well. And before I show you guys a leak, I just want to say quick that I'm going to be covering all the latest Pokemon news and leaks on my channel, so if you guys don't want to miss anything, then make sure you guys subscribe. It also really helps me reach my goal of 20,000 subscribers, so if you decide to subscribe, I extremely appreciate you. Alright, so here's the picture talking about the leaks. So right away, you know, I feel like some of these trainers are probably going to be related to the ZA Royale, and if you guys missed the trailer, the ZA Royale is going to be a battle tournament, something similar to like a Battle Frontier, but I'm sure there's going to be a lot more to it than that. In that tournament, you know, we're going to have to rank up obviously from Z to A, and if we reach rank A, it says that we're going to get some type of wish granted for us. That's pretty interesting in itself, and my guess is that maybe this wish that we make, that's going to be how we kind of acquire the Mega Stones in this game, because it's not like in Pokemon X and Y where we can kind of just travel the entire region and that's where we find like all the Mega Stones are just hidden in random spots. I also talked about previously how, you know, maybe by defeating the rogue Mega Pokemon, after we defeat them, they drop the Mega Stone somehow, and maybe some type of Mega Evolution energy has leaked out of Quasartico Inc.'s lab, and somehow it's contaminated the Pokemon in Lumio City that are compatible with Mega Evolution. And my guess was also that maybe somehow Quasartico was doing some research on the Mega Stones and then they accidentally destroyed them all, and that's how the energy leaked out. But then, you know, once we defeat these Pokemon, maybe the energy kind of manifests itself back into the Mega Stone or something like that. I don't know, that was just my little theory right there, but let me know how you guys think we're going to acquire the Mega Stones. But with this wish thing, it could have something to do with that. That's kind of my prediction as of right now. So yeah, I'm feeling like at least some of the trainers in this leak are probably going to be boss battles or something. I think that the trainers like Jet and Vinny, for example, those two are going to be, you know, part of the story, of course. I would imagine Lysander would be as well, but we're gonna have to see what happens with that. But first of all, we have this trainer on the left here. She has Mega Malamar, which I think is pretty cool. You guys are gonna notice that all the Mega Evolutions for the trainers I'm showing right here, they all fit the aesthetics of the trainers pretty well. So obviously we could expect, you know, if Lysander is really going to be in the game, which if you guys are interested in that, you guys should definitely check out my video where I go a little more in depth about that. But it says that Lysander is going to have Mega Gyarados, which in Pokemon Ultra Sun and Moon, he also uses Gyarados on his team. So just going off that, I feel like this one was pretty expected. Then I like the fact that Jet has a Mega Clefable, because I feel like Clefable definitely matches kind of the vibe that I get from the Quasartico Foundation pretty well, and they've got that kind of star logo, which I feel like Clefable fits pretty well with that, because it kind of reminds me of Mount Moon and Johto where we catch all the Clefairies. So I don't know, that's just a little connection I made, and if that's kind of what they're going for, then I really like that. And then obviously with Vinny right here, he has Mega Lopunny, and based on the thing in his hair, it's got Pancham and it's got Baniri on it, so I think that one is a really good fit as well. Could you guys imagine if he's some type of boss battle and maybe he has Mega Pangoro and Mega Lopunny, like maybe he can use two Mega Evolutions? What if that's something to do with the rogue Megas, you know what I mean? Like maybe somehow he can have multiple on one team. That'd be absolutely insane if we got that, but I think Mega Lopunny makes the most sense, especially because Mega Pangoro wasn't in the leaks, but we never know what could end up happening. Who knows if Game Freak has seen all these leaks and, you know, maybe they would have scrapped one of the Mega Evolutions that we thought we were getting and they're gonna swap it out with something else. And we know from the leaks that allegedly that's what happened to Mega Zero Aura. And by the way guys, which Pokemon do you guys think definitely deserves a Mega Evolution in this game that we haven't heard about yet? Because personally I think there's a lot of Pokemon that are being heavily slept on. And if you guys never want to have trouble sleeping ever again, that brings us into today's sponsor, Manta Sleep. Manta Sleep makes some super easy to use, super comfortable sleep masks, and they're 100% light blocking, and they have a bunch of different options on their website that you guys can choose from. And now that it's summertime in North America, the days have gotten a lot longer, so it's getting harder and harder to make sure you're getting enough sleep, especially when all that light starts coming into your room in the morning. But with the Manta Sleep masks, you guys won't have that problem whatsoever. I've been using my mask from Manta Sleep over the last week, and I've had absolutely no problems with waking up too early or even trouble falling asleep, so I honestly highly recommend them. And for me, I chose the Manta Sleep sound mask because it has a Bluetooth function, so you guys can actually connect it to your phone if you like listening to relaxing sounds or music before you go to sleep. So that's the one I would personally recommend, but I'm sure you'll find an option on their website that works for you. If you guys want a 10% discount on your order, use code NT10 down below, and my link will also be down in the description. Let me know if you guys think it would be sick if we got to battle Vinny with 2 Mega Evolutions. That would be crazy. And then this here is the other picture that kind of goes with that first one. It's showing us a bunch of different characters here, some that we we know from X and Y and then some brand new ones. So I'll start on the left side here. We got Karivo, who has a Mega Scolipede. And maybe I'm just connecting this too much to Team Plasma, but the way that Scolipede kind of looks, like his aesthetic, I feel like that fits a Mafia guy pretty well, you know what I mean? And my guess is that this Karivo guy, maybe he's gonna have a similar vibe to like Giovanni or something, if he ends up being a real character, obviously. And then the guy below him, Philippe, apparently he's the Mafia second in command. My guess is he's going to be a little goofy, you know what I mean? He might look a little funny, but I bet he gets really serious in battle, so that's going to be pretty interesting. And Mega Skarmory definitely feels like a good fit for that. Then below that, we have an unnamed trainer who supposedly is this trainer to the right, Canary. Supposedly it's her father or grandfather. He's got a Mega Excadrill, which is pretty sick. And then Canary right here obviously has the Mega Electros. So, you know, just a couple of Gen 5 Megas to kind of parallel each other right there, if that makes sense. And then we got Hyacinth up here, who has a Mega Dragonite, and that kind of reminds me of Iris. If you guys obviously know Iris from Unova, and in the anime she has a Dragonite, so that's just kind of what I linked that to right away when I saw this. And then we have this trainer below that who's also unnamed, who supposedly is going to have Mega Drampa. And then we just have a straight up question mark up here, so just a fully unnamed trainer with no details, but I guess they've somehow data mined it to figuring out that this trainer is going to use Mega Phalanx, so that's pretty interesting. Then I'm not going to talk about the two Team Flare people because I'm sure you guys remember them if you played X and Y, but I find this pretty interesting because all these Mega Evolutions line up with the original leaks that we got, and these are from two separate leakers, so to me that's really starting to point at the fact that, you know, these are most likely the Mega Evolutions that we're going to get in ZA, but I would expect maybe a few of them to be different because, like I said before, I think that if Game Freak obviously found out about all these big leaks, then, you know, I'm sure they would kind of change their plans because they do want us to be a little bit surprised by some of these, you know? And there's a lot of different Pokemon that I could definitely see deserving of a Mega Evolution that weren't in the leaks. Like, there is a ton of Pokemon that people have made concepts for Mega Evolutions. A lot of people want to see all the different starters get Mega Evolutions. I've seen a lot of people talk about Mega Goodra, which I would love to see a Mega Goodra. I feel like with Goodra being a pseudo legendary, that kind of like automatically qualifies it for a Mega Evolution because it seems like they love giving pseudo legendaries Mega Evolutions. Like we look at Dragonite, for example, was in the leaks. But if we're talking about pseudo legendaries that have existing Mega Evolutions, and we obviously have like Garchomp, Tyranitar, Salamence, so you guys know where I'm going with that one. And then while we're talking about the pseudo legendaries, obviously Hydreigon is another one that a lot of people really want to see, and personally I think Mega Hydreigon would be absolutely insane. I think that Hydreigon is already such a sick Pokemon, so could you guys imagine what they could do with its Mega Evolution? I'm really excited to see if that's something that we end up getting. Then the last one that I actually haven't mentioned in any videos yet would be a Mega Haxorus, because just like Hydreigon, Haxorus is another super sick Gen 5 Dragon type, and honestly I feel like out of the two, Haxorus would probably be more deserving of a Mega Evolution because, you know, it's not a pseudo legendary, but the Haxorus is just solely Dragon type. I think Haxorus for sure should get the Steel type added to it with its Mega form. Let me know what typing you guys think a Mega Haxorus should get, if that's something that we end up getting. Yeah, anyways guys, let me know what you think about all this. Let me know what roles you guys think these different trainers are going to have in the game, and let me know which Mega Evolutions you guys want to see in the game as well. Also, like I mentioned at the start of the video, I'm trying to get to 20,000 subscribers, so if you guys don't mind helping me reach my goal, I extremely appreciate it. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.